What is up, everyone? Today I'm gonna play Terraria, but I can only use yo-yos. Now, you might think this is a pretty easy challenge, but unlike my other videos, we're gonna have to defeat the wall of flesh. Just so you know, I'm gonna make harder videos, so it will take me a bit longer to make, but I hope you enjoy this. As any normal player would, I chopped down some trees so I can get some armor, and also so I can get the first yo-yo. As most people know, you also need cobwebs to make a yo-yo, so I had to go to the mines to get that. And when I crafted the yo-yo, I got the godly enchantment, which was really good, but not so good on this yo-yo because I was gonna get a better one soon. And so after I got the weapon that I could actually use, I went to the caves again because I needed to get some more loot. I got a life crystal and I also got a jungle chest. At this point, I had enough resources to make my base a little bigger, and I was going to make it look a little better at the end. After a bit, I felt like I was ready, so I fought the Eye of Cthulhu, and I won in the first try. Pretty simple. Since I killed the Eye of Cthulhu, I got some new ores, so I made the next yo-yo. And I even made this spot for the nurse, which was really useless because I never fought any other bosses at the same location. I fight them somewhere else, but it's fine. I find the desert pyramid, and it has a sandstorm in a bottle, which is really good, because unlike the cloud of the bottle, you kind of float. Kind of like wings, but not as much. As I traveled in the caves, I found a mushroom biome, which had a lot of ores, so I just took that. I was kind of bored, so I fought the Eye of Cthulhu again. So that I could actually fight the Wall of Flesh, I had to get some more stuff, so I fought the Brain of Cthulhu. But first, I needed to make an arena so that I could actually have an easier time fighting. After I was done, I used bombs so I can reach these hearts. And as soon as I broke them all, I didn't realize that it started, so I had to rush really quickly back to the platform. The boss was pretty cool. Like, all I had to do was kill the eyes and then the brain, but there's a lot of spiders spawning, so it was kind of hard to move around. Luckily, after struggling and struggling, I was able to kill the brain of Cthulhu. And I got a lot of ores and other stuff. With the new tissue samples and ores, I crafted some armor and some new tools, so I could break a lot of more blocks. And I was even able to craft an emerald hook. I used to think that you need that hook item, but I guess all you need is the emeralds. That's when I go to the jungle to find some new items, and I find an underground house as well. As soon as I get back, there's a goblin army, and I quickly kill them all, but they all drop some stuff that I cannot use. And then I started placing bombs so that I can go to the underworld and get some good loot. Before I fought the Wall of Flesh, I decided to fight Skeletron, and I got there, placed some campfires, and I was ready. When I spawned him, I had to race the clock because if you can see the moon, it's like halfway. So I had to fight Skeletron really fast or he'd despawn. But luckily, it wasn't that bad. All I had to do was defeat his hands, and it took a little bit to defeat his head. And boom, I defeated Skeletron. Now that it was open, I entered the dungeon, but I didn't really get any more loot. And for some reason, I decided to fight the Queen Bee, but obviously I died. Before I get distracted, let's prepare for the Wall of Flesh. I decided to make a room so that I could respawn, and I was gonna make a platform later. But before that, I needed to get some molten armor. At first, I was just gonna keep on dying in the lava to get the ore, but it didn't work, so I had to get an obsidian potion, which took a bit. And after a bit of mining, I was able to get the molten armor, which was really useful. Now that I was almost ready, I just needed a new yo-yo, and I was gonna get the Amazon, which all you needed was a few drops from the jungle, which was not that hard, but not that easy either. All I really needed was 8 rich mahogany, 12 stingers, a vine, and 9 jungle spores. This was pretty simple to get because the stingers and vines are from enemies. The jungle spores are just found in the caves, and they're even glowing. And the mahogany, well, they're on the surface. Pretty simple. Now, all I needed was to go to an iron anvil, and I could finally get the Amazon. It was pretty easy to get these resources because I had all the tools. The only really problem was waiting for these guys to spawn. But besides that, I got it pretty fast. Now that I had all of this, I decided to make the platform so that I could fight the Wall of Flesh. I heard that planners are a pretty good block to use when making these platforms, so I bought as much as I could. But I wasn't really rich, so I couldn't get a lot. So after that, I had to just use normal blocks. After making a seemingly good enough platform, I was gonna spawn the Wall of Flesh. But later, I'd realized that I needed more preparation. And when I dropped the doll, I realized I was done for. I could barely reach the wall. These hungry ones, they kept pushing me away. I couldn't do anything really, so I had to think of a better plan. Because obviously, I died. I needed a couple of things, starting with a longer platform. Like, if I wanted to beat this, I had to be patient, and this short platform would not do it. So, I had to get some blocks, and I had to make a pretty long platform. For the second problem, I needed to go to the dungeon so I can get the Cobalt Shield. This is because the Cobalt Shield stops knockback, which, if you didn't see my last attempt, was really the main enemy. And then after a while, I was able to get the Cobalt Shield, which I was actually really happy about. And then I was gonna fight the Wall of Flesh again. Well, I didn't notice that then, but I still was not strong enough. So, of course, I still died because the enemy was just pretty strong, and I actually kind of choked at the end. I could have won if I just made a little longer of a platform. So that I could guarantee to win, I got a lot of potions. I got Obsidian Skin Potion, I even got Thorns Potion, and I got a few more potions which would hopefully help me win. All I needed to
Very
really
appreciate if
do
you
was
subscribe to
get
my
some
channel
flowers and
and
use them at the alchemy table, or a bottle on a table. But it's just the same thing. That's when I went to the desert, which I had made a base at, and I saw a traveling merchant. And I was shocked because she actually sold one of the YOYOs that I could get, the code 1, which was basically just the Amazon, but it had kind of the same damage. So I just used it because I felt like it would be pretty cool. Now that I had all these potions, all these things, and just basically everything I needed to defeat the boss, I was gonna actually fight the Wall of Flesh and actually win, right? When I was fighting the Wall of Flesh, I had already killed the other enemies, so it was not that hard because there was nothing to hit me. I probably was able to do this because of my Cobalt Shield. Anyways, now that I was able to not freely attack, I just had to hit the middle eye. And it was not that hard because there's not really anything trying to hit me. And even if I went off the platform, I had some lava resistance potions, so I'd be good. And as I expected, I actually won. I killed the Wall of Flesh. And I was actually really excited because I'm not really that good at this game. Now that I won the challenge, I just buried myself and left the world because it's not like I'm gonna go back into this, right?